Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we have yet another preview slash prediction video to discuss between ourselves, which means yes, we have another opportunity at home at Ibrox to get beyond these winter break blues. But as always, before we discuss that, a quick little shout out to the channel sponsors and the channel legends themselves, OneFootball, whose link will be down there in the description below if you want a wee bit extra Rangers news. Speaking of Rangers news, there is so much to break down and discuss, so let's just dive right into this game then, shall we? And starting off with the oppositional preview, we are of course welcoming Hibs at Ibrox. Now I know exactly what you're thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Please let Kimberry do the halftime draw. Oh man, honestly, I've never seen a single interview trigger an entire fan base as much as Kimberry's did on Rangers TV. So let's hope we embrace the shithousery at halftime, because that may, just may, be what we need. But seriously though, from a Hibs perspective, they're coming to Ibrox sitting in 6th place under kinda new manager Jack Ross, who a lot of people are expecting a lot of great things for. And so far this season, since he's walked in the door, I would say the results have been certainly mixed. There's been some good winning runs, there's been even longer losing runs. Yet still, coming into this game tomorrow versus Rangers, there's belief around that they can not only frustrate Rangers, but punish them as well, despite being played off the park the last 2 times the teams have met. In fact, looking into their season with a little bit more detail, since that recent 3-0 loss versus Rangers at Easter Road, they actually followed that with back-to-back 2-0 losses, one to Livingston and the other was to arch-rivals Hearts. That is how they went into the winter break, on the back of a 4-game losing streak, not scoring a single goal. But since coming back for the winter break, they actually started off very, very positively with a 2-1 win over Hamilton. But their most recent 2 games have been both draws. Their most recent draw was actually in a game versus St Mirren, in which they fell 2-0 behind very, very quickly. But instead of doing what they maybe done earlier on the season, where they just shrink and just get hammered in that game, they actually fought back and grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck and came back into it thanks to goals from Scott Allen and Big Doish. And that actually allows me to perfectly transition into these Hibs players and Doish especially. This man right here is the prototypical centre forward that's been causing us problems all season long, but he's not just a physical striker for physical sake, he's also putting the ball into the back of the net. The man is sitting on 15 goals so far this season, which some of you might be thinking, CJ, that's not that impressive, son, why are you bringing it up? Well, it is pretty damn impressive considering he didn't start scoring to the 11th of November. His goal scoring rate since has been phenomenal. And his goal to game ratio certainly suggests that, scoring a goal every 155 minutes, which is pretty staunch, but not if it's against us. But it is just a little indication of how much Doish is impacting games from a Hibs perspective. And when I think of the game tomorrow, I can see the battle already between him and Katic. And when you think about it, the last 2 games for Katic has been very, very shaky, dealing with a physical striker. So I honestly think going into the game tomorrow, that battle right there is going to be one of the key battles throughout the game, whether or not Hibs leave this on. The other key man from a Hibs perspective is of course going to be Scott Allen. Now, apologies for just swearing, it just had to be said, unfortunately, because he is having a very good season. And when it all looked doom and gloom in their most recent game versus St Mirren, it was actually him that got on the ball on the halfway line, drove at the defence, started to move off, then finished it to grab the momentum for St Mirren and bring his team back into it. Now, taking a step back away from the individual perspective and looking at Hibs as a team, we mentioned earlier on in today's video leaving with Sahan. Now, usually that means if you're Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and stuff like that, you're going to come to Ibrox, you're going to park the bus, you're going to play the percentages and just try to cling on for dear life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Hibs probably won't be doing that tomorrow, because they are very, very similar to the way that Hearts play under their new manager. And I said that ahead of the game, that the part the bus style isn't really in Stendel's playbook. Well, it isn't in Jack Ross's either, and everything that's been said ahead of this game tomorrow certainly suggests he won't be changing that, despite the fact that he was absolutely roasted for going toe-to-toe with Rangers at Easter Road when they got beat 3-0. Everything ahead of the game certainly suggests that he won't be changing it. All he is asking from a Hibs perspective is they start better and give themselves a chance to go ahead and win the game. And I think the fact that Hibs are going to be coming to Ibrox to play football, not just park the bus, is actually going underneath the radar ahead of this game tomorrow, because we sort of naturally think if our teams want to play us one-on-one, we'll absolutely pass round them and destroy them 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen just a couple of weeks ago versus Hearts when they went toe-to-toe with us. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Rangers respond to yet another team that's willing to get in their face. I think personally it could be exactly what we need, because no having all the time in the world to take a touch and look about and pass it backwards, going absolutely nowhere, sucking the life out of the game, and the crowd. I think given the fact that Hibs are going to come here and get in our faces and we're going to have to pass the ball and react quicker just may be what we need this time to wake us up for the winter break. But with all that being said, that's us all done and dusted officially with the Hibs preview. Now it's time to turn our attention to what matters most, and that is of course Rangers. And starting off with the official Rangers press conference then, shall we? Which of course you can find on the official Rangers YouTube channel. However, this week's going to be a little bit different. In this preview video alone, I'm not going anywhere near anything related to reactions. We've been there, we've heard this story, it's time for it to appear on the park rather than these press conferences. But the first thing we are actually going to be discussing is one of the most important parts of this week's press conference and maybe our season so far, and that's of course the news that Tavernier is back. Now of course he was on the bench for the Aberdeen game where he was an unused substitute. However, going into this game, all that Gerrard has said about it is that he is ready for the game tomorrow. Now despite Polster playing very well and showing flashes, I think given how we've been without Tavernier, I think we will see the return of Tavernier starting tomorrow versus Hibs, and honestly I cannot wait for him to be back in that starting 11. It takes losing him for such a long period of time to not only realise what he brings to the team, but to realise just how much we rely on our captain. And in my personal opinion, the dip, the lackey drive and this back pass nonsense that's featured in every single one of our games since we came back for the winter break tells me that the main man at Rangers isn't this guy, it isn't this guy. The main man at Rangers is Tavernier. And that actually leads me to the first question of today's episode. How do you feel now that Tavernier is back for Rangers? Because I know not everyone rates Tavernier. I see it every single time I back him when he's done something wrong, or I say that I'm a Tavernier guy, or I say that he is the captain for a reason. I get absolutely slammed by some people in the comments. But now there's been a period without Tavernier. Has your opinion changed, and what's your thoughts on the captain? Would you put him back in at the starting 11 tomorrow? Now before we get to the prediction, on, we have a little bit of team news to break down. Greg Stewart is now officially 100% and fully available for the game tomorrow. They decided to miss him out versus Aberdeen just to be that extra bit cautious to make sure he was fully behind all of his recent troubles, and going into this game, apparently it's a double thumbs up. Unfortunately though, the same cannot be said for Ryan Jack, unfortunately, as he is not quite able to make this game. However, Gerrard officially ruled him out by saying there's no chance for tomorrow, but he should be back soon, so hopefully he's back for the weekend. Jermaine Defoe remains on the same timetable as well, being 4 weeks away before returning to the action. And last but not least, we were given a rough sort of timeline for Highlander, and it's pretty much what we all expected and guesstimated got into it, and it's going to be 45 weeks before we see the big Swede back in action. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is the preview, that is the press conference, and that is the latest team news wrapped up in a neat little bow. Now all that's left is for me and thee to get their prediction down there in the comment section below. Now you know a little bit more about the fixture. And while you guys are hopefully sharing your predictions ahead of the game tomorrow, I will give you mine very briefly. I'm expecting a Rangers win. Shock horror, CJ. But are we going to be back to our best? Is the reaction going to be there? I don't really believe in the old reaction just yet. However, I do think it's going to be an encouraging performance versus another footballing side. I think that is what we need right now. Just get a couple of goals and get the confidence back in to that blue jersey. So I'm expecting Rangers to come away with Rangers 2, Hibs 1. And the two people I'm expecting to score the goals, the first one is going to be from Alfredo Morelos, of course it is, but the second one, I'm actually going to go ahead and back Hagi to grab a goal in this game, and I just hope we see Hagi, because he has the talent, he has the creativity, and he passes the ball forward, and I think that is what we badly need right now. And now after about 15-20 minutes of me sitting awkwardly in this spot waiting for that battery charge as it cut out directly after I finished that previous sentence, we are now able to jump over to Twitter and hear from the people. Let's sit back and relax and jump over to Twitter. There's been 936 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 6% votes for Hibs, 13% votes for the draw, and only 81% of the people is voting for a Rangers home win. I think that's a wee indication of how bad we are playing right now. Gustav actually is the first one in. He writes in 3-1 to Rangers. Morelos, BB and Hagi. Paul Stewart writes in, this is a must-win game in my opinion. No more slip-ups. There will be a few changes and I think the team will respond with a 2-0 win. Morelos and Hagi with a 25-yard screamer. Thomas Lee writes in, Rangers 2-0, Hagi and Morelos to score and Bonabere to be sent off. That's unusual. Stuart Ward writes in 3-1 to Rangers. Kent Hagi from outside the box and Alfredo Morelos goal. Ross Watson writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Highlander, Jack and Defoe. To be fair to you, Ross, you probably got as much chance as me You're being right with that one. Keemstar writes in Rangers 2-0 with Davis and Barisic scoring. Davis definitely needs a big performance tomorrow. Peter Ramsey writes in 3-2 to Rangers with Morelos, Arfield and Ryan Kent with the goals. Andrew Bluebells writes in back to business tomorrow, CJ. I hope Hadji starts just behind Morelos. Can see him making a big impact if he does. 2-0, Morelos and Hadji. That's the positivity that we needed right there for Mr. Andrew Bluebells. Back to business. Indeed, son. Fares writes in 1-0. Can see a flat game. Right back to him. Michael McDonald writes in, come out firing 3-0 to Rangers. Captain Tav with an 18-yard wonder shot. Morelos with a tap-in and Hadji to score a wonder goal. Andrew Wilson writes in 2-0 to Rangers. Morelos and Hadji scoring. For me, Hadji has to start tomorrow. Aribo and Kamara are needing dropped as well, in my opinion. I love seeing so many people rating this laddie already. That is what we like to see. Dino writes in 3-0 CJ. Morelos, Hadji and Kent. Kent definitely needs a goal as well. Will writes in top shithousery 4-0 Camberi, Morelos and Aribo. I wish that could happen, but unfortunately Camberi cannot play tomorrow. And the last one we'll read out in tonight's video, scroll nearer to the bottom just to give everyone a chance. We'll stop right here, and it actually comes from Philip Ewan McGregor, and he writes in 3-0 to Rangers. A must-win game, need all 3 points. Hopefully this is the game we can get the ball rolling again. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself, and if you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. And as always, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.